everybody, thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of The Quick Pick. We're right outside the reservation, right above the practice field here, where the Indians have been spending their week getting ready for a big Dorman team that's coming into town on this Friday night. That's going to be a big matchup, Hart. What are your thoughts on last week's performance against Hillcrest and what needs to happen going into this Dorman game?
I think I saw a lot of improvements on our team. I know we didn't drop as many passes as we did in the Burns game, but one thing that's still hindering our gameplay right now is penalties. Still have to get those penalties under control, and I know Dan Jones talked about that in an interview, did he not?
Yes, he said we need a more disciplined team. We got to make sure we get rid of all these unnecessary penalties, as well as make sure we pick up the offensive consistency a little bit more. Defense has been playing well, especially Caden Richards. He's been rushing into the backfield, getting the sacks, producing the tackles himself or with other players and teammates.
One thing I would like to point out is that we did beat Hillcrest worse than Dorman beat Hillcrest. We beat them 27-7. Dorman only, the margin wasn't near as close as it was for us. So that is an indicator, but there's a lot of factors in those games. So
certainly.
The only real way to tell is it's going to be this Friday.
It's going to be a huge region game, a rival game, and it's also Pink Out Night, so certainly wear your pink in support of breast cancer awareness. We'll see you here for that on Friday night. So let's lead right into our college picks. Hart, your games for the week, I'm going to let you roll out what your thoughts on college football are after last week's games and getting ready for this week.
One of the games that I picked for this week was Notre Dame at Virginia Tech. I think this is going to be a good test for both those teams. Notre Dame did prove themselves against Stanford. I thought that Notre Dame was overranked going into that game, and this is going to be a probably bigger game for Virginia Tech to see how they can compete against these top-ranked teams. Another interesting point here is that Notre Dame's quarterback has not thrown an interception all season.
Ooh,
yeah,
really?
So
That is stellar.
He's doing a pretty good job at that position. I think he's going to lead his team to a victory.
My pick this week for the big college football matchup is the Red River rivalry, as a mouthful, out west, between Texas and Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, they have a very good dual threat quarterback.
You have Kyler Murray.
Yes.
This Texas defense is good, but I don't know if they're good enough to stop Kyler Murray. And if they're going to want to stay in this ball game, they're going to have to keep it within a touchdown, and that's going to be hard to do with Kyler Murray.
17 touchdowns. He's quick as all get out. I just don't see how Texas can stop him. Really.
I like Texas and Oklahoma. Both these teams are great out west in the Big 12. This is, of course, again, a rivalry and a conference matchup, but ultimately I think you have to go with Oklahoma. They're playing the better football. Besides those picks, Hart, what are your thoughts on last week? Jake Bentley, you saw where I picked Jake Bentley last week to go up and pull that upset on Kentucky. He didn't do it. I'm still not seeing the Jake Bentley that everyone was getting hyped about. I mean, what do you think about it? They're playing Missouri this week. Your thoughts?
Look back on all the videos. I've never trusted Jake Bentley. I didn't trust him against the Vanderbilt game. They won the Vanderbilt game. Jake Bentley didn't put up good numbers. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He didn't play well against Kentucky. I don't have full faith in Bentley.
Clemson. Trevor Lawrence has to start after the Kelly Bryant drama, and then he gets injured first half. What did you think about that Syracuse game? You were there.
I went to that Syracuse game, and I'll probably put in a few photos and videos that I took. But Syracuse game, as soon as I saw that Trevor Lawrence hit, I knew Trevor Lawrence wasn't coming back. Luckily, our third-string quarterback, Bryce, I think that's his name, he led us to a victory, very narrow victory. We can't sleep on Wake Forest.
You can't sleep on Wake Forest, but certainly I'd like to see a nice, consistent team victory by Clemson. I think that's something you will see this weekend. All right, let's get right into the NFL, Hart. Big NFL game this week that you're looking at. Which one would that be?
Vikings at the Eagles. I picked this game because I think it's a chance for both these teams to prove where they're going in the season. They've had a rocky start, both of them, but I do see that they are good teams. They've just been down on their luck. Vikings defense, they've been disappointing this season. There's really no other way to put it. They put up almost 40 points for the Rams, and I think it was like 27 against the Bills offense, which has been just absolutely terrible this year. The Eagles, they've also had defensive struggles this year. It's just a good game for both these teams to really show where they're going. I think it's an obvious choice, though, for the Vikings. They have the better offense. Both the defenses aren't really playing now. The Vikings do have the better offense.
My pick this week, you got Jacksonville going to Kansas City to take on the undefeated and very impressive Kansas City Chiefs, who have come out of nowhere. And Patrick Mahomes, he's sitting at 1,200 yards. Kareem Hunt will go into this game with 289 yards. And Tyreek Hill, a nice 364 yards. This is a very, very good Kansas City offense. The defense isn't too shabby either. But, you're taking on Blake Bortles and a pretty good Jacksonville defense.
Leonard Fournette is injured again. But I think the defense will win ball games. And Jacksonville obviously has one of the most superior defenses in the game right now.
Ultimately, Kansas City, they're in the big stadium. They got the home game. I just think they're a little bit better team right now. Not saying Jacksonville's terrible. I think both teams are sitting at the top playing very good football, but I like Kansas City getting the victory on Sunday.
Our next segment that we're going to actually lead into is the quick fire. It's going to be Joseph's going to read out 10 games, 10 from college, NFL, and we're going to pick who we think is going to be the winner of those games without any real explanation.
Let's go.
Our first one, LSU at Florida.
LSU.
Yeah.
Missouri at South Carolina.
Missouri.
South Carolina.
Kentucky at Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Kentucky.
Clemson at Wake Forest.
Clemson.
Auburn at Mississippi State.
Auburn.
Mississippi State.
Boston College at NC State.
NC State.
Yeah, NC State.
Northwestern at Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Michigan
Easy.
State as well.
The Atlanta Falcons at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Falcons.
Steelers.
The Giants at the Panthers.
Panthers.
I'm going to say Giants.
San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals.
And the Cowboys at the Texans.
Cowboys.
Texans.
And right before we close out this show for this week's edition of the Quick Pick, we want you to get involved and talk to us. We're going to post a poll on Twitter at GHS Indian Post, as well as our website, ghsindianpost.org. Please participate in this poll. It's a yes or no question. Do you think Patrick Mahomes, sorry, I forgot the question. Do you think Patrick Mahomes will be the first ever
Rookie MVP.
Let us know, yes or no.
I'll put the link in the description for both the polls, Twitter, you can find it on our website. And you can go ahead and check out some of our other articles too, and watch our other quick picks as well.
Thank you. We'll see you back here next week. Hey, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at GHS Indian Post, as well as YouTube for all of our videos, pictures, and footage. We hope to see you there.